Yes, you heard that right. There's a new meta to domestic and child abuse. And I mean, you can probably guess from the thumbnail what it is. I kind of gave it away. But yeah, you heard that right. The belt is making a legendary comeback. That's right. The world champion of the past has finally come back to the big leagues. After years of being dominated and outclassed by simple emotional abuse and gaslighting and the like of it, it's come back. And it's greater than ever. And I'll tell you why. Because, first of all, let's take a look at the meta that has been there for like the last couple of years, which is emotional abuse and just verbal abuse, and just making them feel like shit. Now, on paper, this sounds pretty good and all, but you know what they say. They take after what you do to them. So if you emotionally abuse your wife or your son, you know what will happen? In the future, they will start abusing others. And you know what you want to do? You want to crack off baddies. You know what your son or your daughter will do? She will abuse them and gaslight them and love bomb them and steal them from you. And like, you don't want that, because who wants that? No one. And physically abusing them, it gets rid of the problem, because as several communist leaders understand, weak people who are hungry and do not have anything in their lives, they don't make good rebels, they don't make good revolutionaries. So if you beat your son or your wife with a belt, she won't leave you. She will be too weak to consider divorce, or he will be too weak to consider going after goth baddies. Another thing you need to remember is that if you emotionally abuse them or verbally abuse them, that doesn't keep them weak. So they if they come to school like that, all the teachers will be like, oh my god, what's wrong? What's wrong? Why are you so sad? Is there problems at home? And the same can be said for simple disciplinary beatings. If you just beat your son for the purpose of disciplining him, whatever that means, that will never work. Because he'll be sad enough that he will try to complain to the school or to his friends about you, but he won't be weak enough to not be able to. But if you beat him nearly to death with a belt, he won't have the strength or the capability to report you. There's not really a sweet spot to this other than just maximizing what you're doing. People say you have to find a sweet spot. Oh fuck, there's a black man, I fucking hate those people, if you can call them that. But anyways, there isn't a sweet spot to maximize here. It's literally just maximizing your abuse of a child, because if you don't abuse them enough, they will just start telling people you abuse them, and you don't want that. So the belt, especially leather belts, as you can see in the thumbnail, are the best solution to this, because they both keep them physically weak while not killing them, so they can still get you beer, but they look harmed enough and weak enough that when you send them to the liquor store to buy you a beer, the liquor workers won't think, okay, this guy, he's really bruised up, he's a kid, he must be beaten at home. They'll think, oh my fucking days, this guy looks homeless, oh bro, what a loser. And they'll sell him the beer just as pity. And they won't even think that you're abusing him, because they'll just think, oh yeah, this guy has no dad, because look at how shit he looks. There's no way he has a dad. And so that's a method, I think. Just abuse him. Especially physically, like I said, because if you do it any other way than physically, it's very obvious that he's been abused. Now another thing I would need to cover is the school aspect, because unfortunately the government will often realize you aren't sending your child to school, so you do have to adapt for that. You have to make sure that when you send your kid to school, he won't be seen by teachers and they won't say oh my god, you're being abused, we need to save you. That's a very difficult thing to do, actually. And again, you have to make sure that this guy, he has no friends, okay? You have to make sure that your son is a fucking chud loser. You cannot afford him to be having any friends who will tell him, hey man, it's not cool your dad does. Okay, as soon as that guy enters puberty, as soon as your fuck ass son enters puberty, you put him on hentai or something like that. You get him gooning. Just get your son to goon violently as soon as he can. That'll make sure that he's constantly socially inept. And if he ever even mentions friends, just start flaming the shit out of him. Just saying, oh, friends? Wow, I'm proud of you, son. I didn't think you could do that. Well, I bet they hate you anyway. Or something like that. Just make him doubt himself and just make him feel shit, because that will work. Because he will think, oh yeah, I'm not good enough. Even my dad doesn't like me. And then, especially when you beat him, his friends, they'll see him as weak. because like he'll become in malnutrition, like not nutrition, like he'll be a sub 5 subhuman little LTM. And that's really gonna help you, because like even the teachers, when he like comes to them and says, I'm being abused by my dad, if he has the strength to do that, because as I said, if you're following these steps properly, he shouldn't have the strength to do that because he'll be too weak. They'll just say, fucking loser, bro, you deserve it, like look at yourself. No friends, loser, chud. And what the hell? Business! But yeah, so this is just like the best way to do it. Now, okay, that's the son part covered and like the child part covered. Now, what about your wife and any potential goth mummies that you're trying to enamor and abuse? Now, that part's a little bit more difficult because, as I have just said, it is goth mummies. They are adults. They kind of know what they are doing and they kind of understand like what you're doing to them. However, it's still quite easy to get them. Now, what you want to do is you want to get someone who is a masochist, okay? Get a masochist baddie. Now, from personal experience, masochist baddies are really easy to come by, and also they're really freaky, so if you're into like some weird shit, like, it's a double whammy for you, like, congratulations, you found a perfect girl. Like, for me, it was really peak, like, I really want to be molested and just beat up, and like, she did occasionally beat the shit out of me. It was really pleasant, because when she beat she did beat the shit out of me like in public once, and that was a different story entirely, because like at that point that's people were started to notice and they like looked at me and like me, because like she was fully trying to beat me. I don't know why she did that. She was really mad at me for something and she just tried to kill me, man. It was terrifying because like she's strong, she did jujitsu, and like she was terrifying, and that was the worst I've ever felt in my life, because like, you know, I'm fucking getting beaten to death. But anyways, apart from that, masochist and sadistic baddies are the best thing you'll ever come by if you're a manipulative freak and a manipulative male, performative male, because they want to be manipulated. They have trauma from get this, the last generation of abusers who are using the wrong method, who are using the method that like I just said not to, emotional abuse and gaslighting. Because they emotionally abused and gaslighted them, they now have a need to have a connection emotionally which is healthy. But they don't really want anything healthy. They want it to just be them owned and them loved just sadistically. So if you can find a masochist girlfriend, like, you can beat her and she'll still love you, and that's the best part of it, because like, as we all know, you're a psychopath freak and like you want to beat everyone to death. Now we will think occasionally about like what it would be like to kill someone, right? Like, we all were sadistic when we were kids. We all of us used to torture little wood lice and little ants and put them in like Hunger Games trials, like putting them in glue and making them float in water or some shit like that. Or was that just me? Because like when I was a little kid, I would spend like entire weekends making a Hunger Game trial for like random insects in my backyard. Like, I would put them in first, I would drown them in glue, and anyone that survived, because there were a few that survived, I would like put them in trials. Like, I would make a little platform in like a pool of water, and I put soil and like random other big insects in there, and whoever survived that, like, they would be the crowned soldier. What is this color of tree? Oh, okay, that's savannah. But yeah, this is a place where those chocolate people come from, isn't it? But also it's a place where Yakub comes from, so I like it. That reminds me of something. Am I noticing something? Oh no, never mind. But anyways, yeah, so what was I talking about again? Oh yes, sadistic and masochistic baddies. Now, if we have to debate between masochistic and sadistic baddies, I'm gonna say that like a sadistic baddie is probably the better choice if you want an actual good relationship. But if you want to be a manipulator, like just get all that you want and run, a masochist is probably better. But a sadistic one, she is probably going to be obsessive, right? And like you want that more often than not. If like you're a manipulator, you do want someone obsessive, because like you want them to obsess over you while you just walk away. With sadistic girls, it's a bit more difficult because they're sadistic. They want to kill you. They want to hurt you. It's like, yeah, they will be obsessed with you, but like you can't just leave because they'll just beat the shit out of you. Now, as I just said, this is a guide for like manipulators, not freaks who are little femboy twinks. Like if you're a femboy twink, sadistic girls are entirely the way for you. Why is it so weird? Oh, finally I found a sheep. Hold on, I've got enough for a bed, but I just want to kill the sheep. But anyways, yeah. keep missing it. Very good, I finally did it. But anyways, yeah, like, if you don't beat your son... Okay, hold on, no, I completely forgot about the wife part. Yeah, the wife. How do you deal with your wife wanting to divorce you? Now, we come back again to the communist leader thing of keeping her weak so that she doesn't want to divorce. Because, like, if she divorces you, she thinks, oh yeah, I'm so weak, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So you have to... Okay, here we do have to return to the classic ye-old tactics of having to make her feel like she's weak and emotionally manipulate her. However, that is limited in this case because most of the time you are going to be focusing on just physically depriving her. The most useful tool for you in this case is starvation and making her hungry all the time. Because if we take it literally, the advice that Lenin and Stalin and those leaders gave us, if they are hungry, they don't really care about what happened to them emotionally. It's like a human ladder of psychology. First you have needs. First you have physical needs, and then you have mental needs, and then you have self needs like autonomy and all that stuff that Ted Kaczynski, that fucking incel chud, is talking about. By the way, I hate Ted Kaczynski. Ted Kaczynski is such a fucking loser. I despise him because he's wrong. It's like technology is awesome. I'm all about new technology. But anyways, yeah. Talking of new technology, why is the belt the best method of physical abuse? I'll tell you why. Because a leather belt, unlike a steel rod, sure, a steel rod can affect more damage on your child when you beat him, but think about it. That won't be as lasting, because both your child and the steel rod will break quicker than a quality leather belt. You want to go for durability. You want to go into this for the long haul. Like, seriously, you expect to just beat your son and, like, only once? That won't work. If you just beat him once to discipline him, you're just going to tell everyone. And if you just kill your son, that's going to raise some questions. Like, sure, you can roleplay as your son, like, you can dress as him, like, you go to school for him. Like, I've done that many times. I roleplayed as, like, year 7s to go to school, so I could talk to the year 7 birds. Man, they really go jungled out there sometimes. Fuck. So, as I was saying about the quality of steel rods and belts, what's the best belt brand to, like, beat your son with? I'd say it's probably Hugo Boss, because at the same time it's very classy, but it's also, you know, very durable. And it also has that metal buckle at the end, which is like when you want to inflict extra damage, but I do suggest doing that with caution, because if you do that too much, it will break more soon. Because as I said, steel will break faster than leather. I think I was here before. I'm pretty sure this is where we started. Oh well, same thing.